Does infidelity from one partner matter in legal decisions like custody and asset distribution?
Another question that pains me to answer, but the answer is probably no. And at least in Illinois, in terms of a custody or parenting time, determination, unless unless your new partner is like has drug addiction or other addiction or mental health issue, you can raise issues about bringing your children around that person or with, your soon to be ex or your ex. But generally, it's not going to be a determining factor. And in the finance side, there's this concept called dissipation, where you're spending marital money for an outside the marriage purpose. And the classic example is, buying your boyfriend or your girlfriend flowers. And, that charge from 1-800-Flowers for $50 is something that's marital money that's being used not to, basically promote your family. So the theory is that the marital estate gets reimbursed for that money. So technical answer with the parenting stuff, probably not. And with the finances, maybe. But again, it's always that cost benefit analysis of how much are you going to chase and is it worth it?
It's interesting to hear because it's so emotional for the person and they want to, do whatever they can to get back at this other person. But just developing that awareness that when it comes to the money and the custody,
Yeah.
it's not going to matter. It can, manage your expectations for what you're getting into.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. It's like you want to move on with your life. You want to have a boyfriend, you want to have a girlfriend, you want to have a partner. And then it's like, well, are you micro controlled in what you spend and what you do? And then, your partner has to deal with that. So it's a lot. And that coupled with just the divorce process in general, it's brutal to hear an answer that it really just kind of doesn't matter,
Right. Next question. How will a judge respond or approach a case where one partner is claiming the other is a narcissist and is unfit for parenting time?
Yeah, great question. And I think this is sort of the new hot button issue in the divorce realm. And these mental health issues, especially narcissism, has become very popular in terms of the behavioral attributes and how that plays out in a divorce. And what I would say is, again, I think the general label is less important for a judge rather than the specific events and how that person affects your children or how that person affects your finances. The specifics are way more powerful than just throwing out the narcissism label, right? And I think it's almost like the boy that cried wolf, right? If you say your partner's a narcissist, being sort of that new phenomenon, the judge, I get it, move on. But it's really the specifics and, did this, did this, did this, did this, and then have a judge thinking like, wow, that makes sense, and let them draw that conclusion in terms of that overall label. And, that could paint the case, but it's really important to highlight some of those specifics rather than just the general.